All right, everybody, buckle up because this week we're going deep on cybersecurity.
Ooh, cybersecurity.
Yeah, you know that thing that everybody thinks they can ignore?
Until their social media gets hacked.
Exactly, or even worse.
Bank account.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so listen up because we found some wild stuff.
Wild stuff.
Like, did you know that Microsoft found a security flaw in a Mac?
What?
I know, right? We're also talking about how the Internet Archive got hacked.
Oh no, not the Internet Archive.
Yeah, and gamers, listen up because we're going to unpack that whole Call of Duty fiasco with the ban system.
The one that was handing out unfair bans.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this week is going to be a bit of a digital roller coaster.
It really shows how complex cybersecurity is these days.
Yeah, and the threats
They just keep popping up.
in the most unexpected places.
It's true.
Okay, so let's start with that Mac vulnerability.
The one from Microsoft.
Yeah, can you imagine Apple, the company that's all about security,
Right.
getting called out by Microsoft?
It's almost too good to be true.
I know, right? So this flaw, it was called HM-Surf.
HM-Surf.
Yeah, and it was really sneaky. Basically, hackers could see your browser history, even turn on your microphone and camera.
And you wouldn't know.
Nope, it's like Big Brother.
This vulnerability was especially bad because it targeted something called transparency, consent, and control.
TCC.
Yeah, TCC for short, and TCC is like the bouncer for your Mac.
Yeah.
It decides which apps get to access your camera, your location, even your microphone.
So, like, it decides who gets in and who stays out.
Exactly. And Safari already had special privileges.
Because it's Apple's own software.
Right. So because of that, it made it even easier for the hackers to exploit this HM-Surf flaw.
So even with all of Apple's fancy security measures, there are still cracks in the armor.
There are. Thankfully, Apple patched things up pretty quickly.
That's good.
It is. But it is a reminder that everyone has weaknesses.
Even tech giants.
Even tech giants. And for you, dear listener, this all comes back to one golden rule. Keep your software updated.
Please.
Those updates, they're not just about new emojis. They often contain really critical security fixes.
Right. So don't be that person clicking remind me later a million times.
It's just not worth the risk.
Okay, now let's talk about something that really makes me want to shake my fist at the internet.
What's that?
The Internet Archive getting hacked.
Oh, no way. I love the Internet Archive.
I know, me too. Like a digital library of everything.
Websites, music, books, you name it.
It's like a time machine for the internet.
I know. So when it got breached, it was a real blow.
Yeah, not cool at all. So what happened?
Well, over 800,000 support tickets were exposed.
800,000.
Yes. And they dated all the way back to 2018.
Wow, so like years of confidential conversations just out there.
It's like somebody was snooping through their files for years.
Oh, that's awful. But how did this even happen? I mean, you'd think a place like the Internet Archive would have Fort Knox level security.
You would think, right? Well, the hackers actually got in through a leaked GitLab token.
A GitLab token, what's that?
Imagine it like a master key that unlocks access to parts of the Internet Archive systems.
Oh.
And to make matters worse, some of their API keys hadn't been changed in ages.
API keys?
Yeah, those are like individual keys for specific doors within the system.
So it's like they left the keys under the mat and didn't bother changing the locks.
Kind of, and it made it way too easy for the hackers to get in and do some damage.
That's a bummer.
It is. The thing is, the Internet Archive is run by this small team of engineers.
Really?
Yeah, and they're managing a ton of data.
I can only imagine.
It's like being overwhelmed by technology taken to the extreme.
Yeah, and in this case, it had some serious consequences.
It just goes to show that cybersecurity is about more than just fancy technology.
It's about people and processes.
And sometimes just human error.
And it's not just tech giants that need to be vigilant.
It's all of us.
So speaking of vigilance, are you ready for a story that sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie?
Hit me with it.
Okay, so picture this. A team of researchers in China used a quantum computer to break a 50-bit RSA key.
Hold on, a 50-bit key? That sounds like something from the Stone Age of encryption.
Yes. Exactly. 50-bit encryption is ancient history. It's like dial-up internet, old. But here's the catch. It's not about the size of the key they cracked. It's the fact that they cracked it with a quantum computer.
Ah, okay, now that's interesting. This is a bit of a wake-up call. It shows that quantum computers are getting powerful enough to potentially crack the encryption we rely on today.
For, like, online banking.
Yes, online banking, secure messaging, you name it.
So all our digital secrets could be spilled.
It's a possibility we need to be prepared for RSA encryption, which has been the gold standard for decades. It might not be enough in a world of quantum hacking.
So what do we do?
This is why research into quantum-resistant encryption is so crucial.
So we need to be ready for the quantum future.
The good and the bad.
It's like a race against time.
It is developing new defenses before the bad guys figure out how to exploit these powerful machines.
Well, that is a fascinating challenge, and one that has huge implications for the future of cybersecurity. But let's step back from the quantum realm for a moment and talk about something a little more down to earth, though no less impactful. Have you heard about the Call of Duty ban glitch?
Oh, yeah, this one's a head-scratcher. So Call of Duty has this anti-cheat system called Ricochet,
Right, it's supposed to catch all the cheaters.
trying to keep things fair for everyone else.
Sounds good in theory.
In theory, but they can be a real pain when they don't work, right?
And that's exactly what happened here. Ricochet was scanning game memory for any signs of cheating.
Which it makes sense.
Yeah, but the problem was it was scanning plain text strings, which included things like chat messages.
Oh, so even harmless banter could trigger the system.
Yeah, hackers figured out that by sending specific cheat-related words in chat messages, they could trick Ricochet into thinking innocent players were the ones cheating.
So you could get banned just because someone sent you a dodgy message. That's like getting detention for something your friend whispered to you in class.
Talk about unfair.
It is unfair.
The Call of Duty team eventually fixed the glitch and unbanned all the affected players. But it really raises some questions about automated systems.
Yeah, these systems are supposed to make our lives easier.
But when they go wrong, the consequences can be pretty bad.
It's a reminder that even the most sophisticated systems can have unexpected flaws, and those flaws can have real-world consequences for people. And it's not just about gaming. As AI gets more integrated into our lives, we need to be mindful of how these systems make decisions and ensure they're fair and unbiased.
Right, we don't want them punishing the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
So after this whirlwind tour of cybersecurity, what's the main takeaway for our listeners? Why should they care about all this?
The big takeaway here is that cybersecurity is everyone's business, whether you're a tech whiz or just someone who uses the internet to check email and watch cat videos. The digital world is amazing, but it also comes with risks. And understanding those risks is the first step to staying safe.
Right. We're not trying to scare anyone away from the internet. We just want people to be informed and empowered.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power, as they say. So what can our listeners actually do to protect themselves in this wild west of cybersecurity?
Well, a lot of it comes down to basic digital hygiene.
Digital hygiene.
Yeah, think of it like washing your hands for the internet.
I like that.
So start with strong, unique passwords for all your accounts.
Oh, yeah, passwords. I know it's a pain to remember a million different passwords.
It is. But a password manager can be your best friend.
Oh, they're lifesavers, those password manager.
It's like having a digital vault for all your logins.
And don't forget about two-factor authentication whenever it's available.
Yes, two-factor authentication.
Just like adding an extra lock on your door.
It might take a few extra seconds, but it makes it way harder for the hackers to get in.
So worth it. And here's a tip that might seem obvious, but be careful what you click on.
Oh, yeah. Phishing scams are getting more and more sophisticated these days.
It's true.
So don't open emails or click on links from senders you don't recognize.
And if a deal seems too good to be true.
It probably is.
Definitely. And speaking of things to be wary of public Wi-Fi networks.
Yeah.
They can be a hacker's playground.
So convenient, but so risky.
If you have to use public Wi-Fi, consider using a VPN.
Yes, a VPN.
What's a VPN?
It's like a secret tunnel for your data. It encrypts everything so those snoopers can't see what you're doing.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's a must-have for anyone who travels or uses public Wi-Fi a lot.
Good to know. And last but not least, don't ignore those software updates.
Well, please don't.
I know they can be annoying.
But they contain crucial security patches that fix vulnerabilities.
Ones that the hackers could exploit.
Exactly. Think of it like getting a flu shot for your devices.
Okay, I like that analogy.
A little prevention can go a long way.
And remember, cybersecurity is an ongoing journey, not a destination.
That's right. The threats are constantly evolving.
So we have to stay informed.
And adapt our habits.
Exactly. It's all about being proactive, not paranoid.
And if you ever feel overwhelmed, remember there are tons of resources available.
Online and in your community.
To help you navigate the world of cybersecurity.
We're all in this together.
We are. By working together and taking these simple steps, we can make the digital world a safer place for everyone.
Well, folks, that wraps up our cybersecurity deep dive for this week.
That's right. We hope you learned something new, maybe had a few aha moments, and most importantly, feel empowered to take control of your online security.
Exactly. It's all about being proactive, not paranoid.
Right. And hey, if you ever feel overwhelmed, just remember there are tons of resources out there.
Yeah, online and in your community to help you navigate this whole cybersecurity world.
Absolutely.
So until next time, stay curious
Stay safe.
and keep exploring this amazing world of tech.